DPS Society, Honorable Principal of DPS Faridabad, Mrs. Sangeeta Chakraborty, Vice Principal Dr. Sandeepan Rishi of DPS Faridabad, distinguished dignitaries, esteemed members, and viewers, I, Altamash Ali, on behalf of the Delhi Public School Sector 19 Faridabad, extend you a warm welcome to yet another episode of the Colourful Cosmos. This astronomical voyage from the SOAR Center of DPS Faridabad, where we will observe the jewel of our night sky. Together we will unfold the marvelous mysteries and explore the stars that adorn our beautiful sky, which is nothing short of the greatest gift nature has bestowed upon us. In few minutes, we'll be getting the live pictures directly from the telescope that you can see just behind me on your screen, and we are going to observe some interesting things. We'll be starting from the very popular, the biggest, the largest planet of our solar system. And now on your screen, you all can see that you are getting the view through the camera view of our telescope, and on your screen you can see that we are getting the picture of the biggest planet of our solar system. Please comment down in the section which one I am talking about. So today there is a special purpose why we are getting this in the first place. Now you are going to tell me in the comment section what is the greatest feature of the Jupiter planet. There is a storm going on this planet, the Jupiter. I want to know from you all which storm I am talking about. It has a name. There are hundreds of storms going on this planet, but I am talking about the greatest of them. It is called as, how many of you can tell me in the comment section which one I am talking about? I am checking all of your comments in the comment section. Yes, I was talking about the Jupiter, but now I am asking you all which particular storm or the feature of the Jupiter I am talking about. It's a great storm that is going on the surface of this windy planet. It's a gaseous planet that you all know. Yes, I am talking about the big red eye. Okay, or we have the name for this. That's the great red spot on the Jupiter. So right now you are getting the live view from our telescope, and we are trying to get the view of the red spot. I must tell you that today this was our first object of interest for this region only, that so that we could see the red spot here. On the screen you have the view of the Jupiter, but due to the cloud that we have around us, we are getting this blurred picture. But do not worry about this. We have a good news for you all, that we have already captured this great spot already for you all, and I'll be showing you in some time, but due to the cloud around us, we are not able to get the picture right now. We are not able to get the picture for you all. So now on your screen you will be able to see the picture that I have taken already. We have taken already for you. It takes a lot of time for us to bring you these kind of pictures for you all. So on your screen you can see there is one picture on the left of your screen. You can see that's the picture of the Jupiter taken from the Hubble Space Telescope, and you can see this red spot. Can you see this cursor here? Just comment down. Yes, so this is the picture taken from the Hubble, but at the right of your screen you can see that this was the picture taken from the SOAR Center of the DPS Faridabad, and you can see at this point, at the southern side of the Jupiter, you can see the red spot given by my cursor. Can you all see this cursor? Just next to it you can see the red spot is there. So we had already taken this picture for you all. This was the picture taken from the SOAR Center, and below this Just below this you can see 2 red dots. Can you all see this? Please comment down in the comment section if you can see these dots, and if you can tell me what these objects may be. Can you tell me in the comment section what these objects may be? So we will be moving ahead. We have so many things for you all today to observe. We will be observing the features of our closest celestial neighbor. Just comment down in the comment section which celestial neighbor I am talking about. Yes, okay, Factmer, okay, we will please bring more live session like this. Yes, we will be going live whenever we'll be getting the chance. For you all, this curiosity of you all drives us to go ahead with these programs. Now we are going to move to another object that is the jewel of the night sky. If I tell you that this was the first star cluster, globular star cluster, catalogued by the Messiah. Yes, okay, Kartikeya Gupta. Yes, these are the Galilean moons that I was talking about. But now we are moving ahead to another object, and I'm telling you that this object, this was the first globular star cluster that was catalogued in the Messiah object. How many of you can tell me which object is this? Okay, I'm giving you one more hint. It is also known as the Messiah 2 object. M2 object. Which one I'm talking about? Kindly comment down in the section. Yes, Ganymede. Okay, so these are the 2 Galilean moons that you can see. They were captured along with the Jupiter. In few seconds, you will be getting the direct live view from the SOAR Observatory's mighty telescope that we are providing you in a short while. Hercules globular, no, that's a globular cluster for sure, but that's the M2 globular cluster I am talking about. Okay, that is right too, that this object, okay, right now just behind me you can see that there is the telescope that is bringing us the live feed of all these objects, and behind me you can see my fellow astronomer working on this telescope to get you the best view of the object. So M2 I was talking about. Yes, M2 is a globular star cluster, and I'm giving you another hint. It is 55,000 light years away from us, and also it is in the constellation Aquarius right now. So this was first reported by the Jean-Dominique Meraldi in 1746 when he was looking for a comet. When he was looking for a comet, he went across to this star cluster and he has observed what this beautiful object is, which is fainted when you are observing it under the ideal condition. You can observe it with your unaided eyes if the sky, given the sky very clear. So it has the magnitude of 6.3, and right now it is at the altitude of around 38 degrees in the southwest direction in the Delhi's sky right now, and it can be found in the Aquarius constellation. So we'll be getting the live view. You can see that my fellow astronomer, he is working behind me, just behind me, on the telescope, and I'm sure that you all can see the telescope behind me. So we have already in our last episode of the Colourful Cosmos, we have observed one star cluster. Who can tell me which star cluster we have observed last time? That was also a globular star cluster. Meanwhile, I'm telling you there are 2 different types of these star clusters. One is known as the open star cluster, whereas the another one is called as the globular star cluster. So the difference between these 2 star cluster, actually these are the big nursery of these stars. I can give you a reference. If you take a spoonful of sugar and you drop it on a plate, you will see that the sugar, it will go and scattered a little bit. This is how the open star clusters moves means the stars in this open star cluster, they are little bit far away from each other, but yet they are together. And in if I tell you about the globular star cluster, on comparison, if you see that if we take the salt in the spoon and you put it down, so it will be all together. So similar to that, in globular star cluster, the stars, they remain close to each other. They are highly gravitationally bound with each other, and you will find them that they are moving all together as a single entity, whereas they are very much they are so much in number. But apart from that, I can give you a comparison of this star cluster. Okay, so this is the comparative view of the star cluster that we are going to see live through the SOAR Observatory. Right now on the left of your screen, you can see this is the Hubble view of this amazing star cluster that is known as the Messiah 2, which is right now in the Aquarius constellation. You see, this is the first globular star cluster catalogued by the Messiah. Charles Messier was a French astronomer, so he was looking for the comets, and he observed many fuzzy patches like this in the sky. And then he has started observing these fuzzy patches and starting documenting them in a catalog, and we call it the Messier catalog. So Charles Messier, he has catalogued 110 such objects, and you can see from M1 to M110, these objects were catalogued serial wise. So if I say that this is the M Messier 2 object, means it was the second object observed by the Messier. And this is a beautiful globular star cluster. You can see at the center of this star cluster, the stars are so dense that you will not be able to see that they are the distinct stars. But if you observe them through the telescope, you will see them in their unique identities. My fellow astronomer behind me is trying to get you the live view. It is taking few minutes. This is a very tedious and meticulous job to get these things aligned and bring in the camera view of the telescope. Yes, so last time we have observed the Pegasus star cluster. So what's the name of our telescope? Our telescope, it is the Celestron Edge 14-inch HD telescope that is housed in the SOAR Observatory. Okay, yes, few of the students are there who I have already interacted with in their live session at the DPS Faridabad. Yes, hello everyone. So we are trying to get the best view for you all. So right now the good news is that we have already taken few pictures in advance for you all. So this is how the M2 star cluster look like when we observe it through the Celestron Edge HD 14-inch telescope, which is housed in the SOAR Observatory. So you can see on the right of your screen with my cursor, you can see this is how the star cluster looks like from the observatory. Because of the clouds, actually this is the weather condition, because of that we are not able to get it so easily. This time it's taking time for us to align the telescope towards this toward this object, but you should not worry about this. We have another objects for you all that we will be observing, and as I told you earlier that we will be observing the moon as well for you all, and we'll be observing several sites on the moon. So now on your screen you will be able to see directly the camera view of our telescope, and we are getting good pictures of the M2 object. You can see on your screen how beautiful these pictures that we are getting. Okay, can I have this centered? Yes, please. Okay, at the center of the, okay, this is the view that we are getting. This is an amazing view that we are getting on our screens right now. And at the center you can see that we can see this densely uh, yes, so this is a dense stars cluttered at one place. At the center you can see, okay, now my fellow astronomer, he has increased the exposure of the camera to 30 seconds right now, which means that the 30 seconds is the time for our camera to gather this much light. So our eyes, we cannot comprehend. Okay, now on 0, okay, you are getting the live view. Oh my god, this is a beautiful view that we are getting on our screen, and you can see this is how I have already showed you a pre-captured photo, and it is the exactly same, the one that we are getting live from the SOAR Center on your screen. Amazing view. Thank you so much, Dipanshu, for bringing this view for us all to observe. So as I said earlier, that globular star cluster, they are the star cluster that are very dense at the center, and they are very tightly bound with the gravitation. Okay, and on my screen now you will be able to see this is the for the comparative observation of the M2 star cluster from the Hubble Space Telescope and the SOAR Center. Now you can see behind me that our telescope is moving, and now we are moving ahead to the another jewel of the night sky, and we are going to observe the M77 object. Now kindly tell me in the comment section which object I am talking about. M77 object I am talking about. This is an amazing object. Kindly comment down in the section. Kindly comment down in the section which object we are going to observe just now. It is the M77 object. What kind of object is this? So when Messier was catalogued, when Messier had catalogued these objects, so we were okay. So we are moving ahead to the M77 objects. So this is what we are going to observe. Who can tell me which objects I am talking about right now? Okay, this is a galaxy, obviously, that yes we are going to observe. Yes, that is the Cetus A galaxy. Absolutely right, Pankhuri. This is a galaxy which is housed in the Cetus constellation right now in the Delhi sky. You can see if in the southeast direction, and the altitude must be around 48 degrees. The magnitude of this galaxy is 8.9, which is very hard for anyone to observe through their unaided eyes. Means when we talk about the magnitude of an object, so we are simply talking about the brightness of these objects. Okay, yes, so we are right now on your screen. You can see this is the Hubble view of the Cetus A galaxy, and this is the view on the right of your screen. You can see this is the view from the SOAR Center. And when you see these red patches, can you see all these red patches and these blue pockets in the center at the edges of this galaxy? So this actually tells us about are the regions where the new stars are forming, or we can say some new or young star are housed there at these positions. At this spiral arm, you can see this is the red and bluish area that we are getting. These are the pockets where we get to see these young stars being formed. Okay, I am checking all of your comments. Kindly comment down Okay, you can comment us your questions as well. If you have some questions for all of for us, we will be try to we'll try to address all these questions as well. Yes, okay, sir. Okay, yes, Aviral, hi. Yes, okay, Hubble's aura infinite. Yes, yes, that's true. But now we have the James Webb Telescope as well in the space that is also sending us some important images and information that are very amazing from the perspective of the research. So now in few minutes we will be getting the view of the M77 objects or the Cetus A galaxy for you all. Behind me, my fellow astronomer Dipanshu is working on the telescope. He is trying to find or get the galaxy for you all to observe. I think we are going to get it sooner than expected. We are getting this very soon, and for you all. Meanwhile, you can see that this is how it is supposed to look like from the live view as well. But I must tell you that these pictures of the Hubble that you see, these are the pictures that are the result of hundreds and thousands of pictures processed together. After the processing, we get to see these kind of pictures. So these beautiful pictures, they are just not the live photos coming from the Hubble. Instead, they are also processed. But a lot of pictures come stacked together or processed together. Then we get to see these beautiful images. Yes, I have so many. Yes, okay. Okay, you can also comment down some facts about these these objects that we are observing. I'll be reading all of your comments. We are trying to get the view for you all in a very short while. For you also, we were talking about the Messiah objects. So Messiah, he had no clue what these objects may be. As our scientific exploration advance, we got to know that the object that he might have or he has catalogued as the star cluster or the nebulae, now we see that this M77 object is one such object that they have catalogued as a star cluster. But now we know it is not a star cluster but a galaxy. Interesting fact about this, that M77 was first observed by his friend and assistant. His name was the Mashon, and he has observed this thing, and he went to the Charles Messier, and he has reported the sighting of this object, where Charles Messier has observed it again, and he has catalogued this. This was the new addition in the Charles Messier catalog. So we are trying to get the view given the weather condition are really harsh on us today, but still we are trying to get the best pictures for you all that is possible, and we are working upon it. Behind me, the team is working upon these objects. So do you have any questions? Kindly comment it down. Okay, which direction can you see the Jupiter? It must be in the it is rising from the east, so you should refer to the east direction to observe the Jupiter right now. So if you have your telescopes with you, you can also start doing your observation as the Jupiter is there. So you can observe the Jupiter, and you can also observe the moon with your telescope, and then we'll be showing you the moon from the from the perspective of our telescope that is in the SOAR Center of DPS Faridabad. So which telescope is used here? It's the Celestron edge HD 14-inch telescope that we are using right here. Hello. Yes, yes, he is. The yes, Javed sir is here as well. Yes. Can you show us the Shiv Shakti point again? Okay, so we will be observing the southern highlands as well this time, but if we will be able to get the point for you also, we'll try our best to get this point for you all. Yes, okay. If you have more questions, kindly comment down the questions for us, and we are going to get the view from the telescope very soon. So so M77. It was the edition in the Charles Messier catalog as the 77th object, and his friend and assistant Pierre Masson, he has observed it in the first place and reported it to the Charles Messier, and they have cataloged it as the as a star cluster. But this is later on it was found as a galaxy, and this is a very special kind of galaxy, and these kind of galaxies, they are known as the Seaford galaxy. As the Seaford, he was a American astronomer. He has worked upon several galaxies, and this is one of them, and he has his name was the called Seaford. So after his name only, this class of the galaxies were known as the Seaford's galaxy. So he worked upon this, and he has cataloged this in 1940. So this kind of galaxies, the importance or the special thing about these galaxies is that at the center of these galaxies you will find the ionized gases that are moving very very fast, and they're very very hot, that give rise to a central point which is very bright and which is called as the central engine as well. And uh, it is also believed that this center, these bright center, they house some kind of very supermassive black hole is centered or housed at the center of these kind of galaxies, and these kind of galaxies were classified as the Seaford class of galaxies. This is one such galaxy. So are we are going to get the view on this screen now. On your screen you will be able to see that we have centered the Cetus A galaxy, which is the M77 object, Messier 77 objects, and we are going to get the live view in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here you go. So at the center of your screen you can see this here, right here. Can I have a zoomed view, a little bit zoomed view of this? Yes. Okay, so we are getting this view because of the bad weather. We are not able to get the view that you can see that you were observing on your screen few minutes back. And yes, we will try it with some other objects. As I told you that we have a list of objects that we are going to observe tonight, means only on the moon we will be observing many features, and many parts of the moon we will be observing, from their prominent craters to the highlands, and also we will be observing the mountain range of the moon, a very very famous mountain range that is called as the Apennine mountain range, and a lot of peaks you see in the Mount Apennine only. So will be observing the features of the moon in few seconds. And you see right now on your screen I am showing you a map of the moon that you can observe tonight if you want to observe it. So this is how you will be this is how your moon will be looking if you observe the moon from your telescope. If you have a telescope, you can take it and you can you can start observing this object. So now what are we going to observe? You can see on your screen, if you can see my server. So this is the F9 mountain range that we are going to observe, and along with that you can see this was the landing site of the Apollo 15 mission. So from the geographical point of view, you can see that how hard it must have been for them to land astronauts there at such a site. And now we will be moving ahead to the moon and we'll be observing these features. So let me tell you, in the first place we will be observing this crater right here. This is known as the Bessel's crater, that is housed in the mare Serenitatis. And then after that we will be observing the Apennine mountain range, and we will be observing some key features of this mountain range. Now on your screen you will be getting the view of the moon. Okay, so our telescope, it has moved to the so we were talking about that okay, now on your screen you can see that we are getting the live views from the moon. You can see the craters, so many craters are there that you can see, and we are trying to get our first views here. So we'll be starting with, okay, here you can see we are at the mare Serenitatis right now. On your screen you can observe. Okay, who is going to tell me what are the craters and mares? Kindly comment down in the section at the center of your screen almost. Okay, you can see this, you can follow the cursor as well. This is the Bessel crater that you can see right now on your screen. This crater, it has the diameter of around 21 kilometers that you can see, and just and just above this you can see there is another crater right here. This is called as the Menelaus crater, that is the bigger one, and the cursor you are following right now, this is the Menelaus crater, and this crater is actually the end point of another hilly area or hill region on the moon that starts from this crater, and this they are called as the Montes Hemus. So this is another region where you can see some peaks on the moon. You can see this is the rugged area, you can see, and the craters are there just above, just near the cursor. You can see a big crater, is a prominent crater is there, and the name of that crater is the Menelaus crater. In one screen only right now you can see the Bessel crater, which is almost at the center of the mare Serenitatis, and just next to it you can see another crater. Yes, this one, this is the Menelaus crater, from where you can see a mountain or the hilly range is going forward, and that is the Montes Hemus. It is called as the Montes Hemus. And just above there is one prominent crater, that is the Menelaus crater. At the center of this you can see some shadows are there. So what do you think that these shadows are, why these shadows are forming? Can you tell me? And you can also observe the rings of the rims of these craters, and you will see, okay, from this point of view, what do you think that is it the morning time on the moon or is it the evening time on the moon? Kindly comment down in the section. So I'm giving you a hint for your reference. You must follow the shadows and the shiny part as well. And you can observe one thing, that the Menelaus, it appears more brighter compared to the Menelaus. What is the thing? What can be the reason behind this brightness change? On your screen, I'm giving you a hint. It is related to the composition of the surface. If you can further tell me, kindly comment down in the section. Okay, so mares are actually these are the large dark areas and on the moon that you can observe. Okay, can I have the presenter view? Okay, right now on your screen you could see these three features. Can I have the presenter view please on my screen? Okay, so right now what we were observing, I must tell you, with the reference of this map, this was the basal crater that we have observed in the first place. This is housed in this prominent mare known as the mare Serenitatis. If you have your telescope, you go ahead with this and observe this. Can you at least observe the mare Serenitatis right now? So as you can see that then after that we have observed the Menelaus crater. Okay, on your screen we you can see that we are getting the good pictures of the Apennine mountains on the moon. This is one of the largest belt of the mountains or the peaks on the moon, which surrounds the Mare Imbrium area on the moon, and you will see that it houses around 3000 peaks, and among all of them Mons Huygens is the highest peak. Like we have Mount Everest as the highest peak of Himalaya, so similar to that, the highest peak on the moon in the Apennine hilly belt, it's the Mons Huygens, which has the height of around 18,000 feet from its base. And just next to it, if you can see that there is this area where the Apollo 15 has landed, and this region, it is called as the Hadley region, Apennine Hadley Valley, where the Apollo 15 has landed. Apollo 15 was an amazing mission. It was a big success given of among all the Apollo programs till that date. In Apollo 15 has also set several records. The first of them was that it was the first Apollo program where a rover was used as well. So there were 3 scientists and astronauts, and among them Scott was one of the geologists who went to the Apollo 15 mission, and he has collected several rocks. Man, these rocks were carbon dated, and they were dated back to around 4 billion years old. You see, these rocks can be as old as the moon itself. So we have several. You can see on your screen. Yes, this is the Apennine mountain range, and now we are moving ahead to another region. Okay, at the center of your screen, you can see a relay. If you can see right here. So relay, it is a Greek word which means the grooves. So these relays are actually like the dried rivers here on Earth. If you have observed any dried river, so you might have seen these kind of the grooves. So, and at the center of this relay, you can see there is a small crater, and this small crater, it is called as the Hyginus. It has the diameter of around 11 kilometer. Despite that, this seems very small, but if I tell you, it will be around 1/4 of the Delhi's diameter. So yes, this is compared to the other crater, this is short, but 11 km in diameter, it's not a short area as such. So this whole relay, this is also called as the Rima Hyginus, and at the center of this is this crater. So right now on your screen at the center you can observe this relay, and on one end of this you can see you can see the craters, and this is situated in the sinus medae region on the moon. So I will be showing you where this is exactly situated on the moon's map that we are following, and that map is taken from the NASA's website. So right now you are observing on the present, you are able to watch the presenter view, and you can see this is the reason that you have just observed through the telescope. This is the Hyginus crater that we were talking about, and it is on the northern side or the northeast side from the sinus medae. So sinus medae is another mare that is there on the surface of the moon, and given the name, the sinus medae is actually the name is coming from the middle. Medae like seems relative to the middle, so when the moon is full you will see that this mare is almost at the center of the moon. So now, okay, right now we are getting the view of the southern highlands right now for you on your screen. You can see that this is the southern highland that you are getting on your screen, and on the southern highland you will be able to see so many craters because this is the very heavily crater site. And right now you can follow this circle. These are three conjoint craters that you can observe right now on your screen. Yes, these craters can be observed at the terminator of the moon. So the point which separates the lighten up part of the moon and the dark part of the moon, it is called as the terminator. So at the terminator point you are able to see these three craters. Can I have them centered? Please, can I have these craters centered? So these three are the craters that are at the center. These three are the conjoint craters. Yes, okay, right now you can follow the cursor that you can see it's all dark, but there is a peak which is lighten up. Can you imagine this thing? Like on the one side of the rim the light is glowing, means the sunlight is falling from the other side, and where another rim it is making the darker region or the shadows are there, but at the center something is shining. What this can be? Kindly comment down in the center, in the comment box, in the center of the another crater as well. Silius is the name of this crater, which is next to the this crater. And these peaks are actually lighten up. Okay, right now you can see, so these peaks, because of their height, means the shadow, it is not it is just below this point, and these are the peaks within this crater. These are the peaks within these craters. Right now on your screen you can observe. Okay, right now okay, I am going to show you this, or we are going to follow this area on the moon's map, and meanwhile I give you the tour of the moon or the sites where what we have observed so far. Meanwhile we are trying to get the picture of Jupiter for you once again, if we can get a good picture of the Jupiter, and if we are able to see the great red spot as well. So we have started our observation from the Mare Serenitatis from this point, and which houses this basal crater. Okay, so this one we have observed just few minutes back. we will try to I will try to give you the exposure of the pictures, or the live regions that we have observed from the SOAR Center. We have already clicked some of the best photos for you all. We knew that you all are derived by this curiosity, so you are not going to be content with just the live view of few minutes. So we have clicked all these pictures for you all. So you can see right here, this was the Bessel's crater that you have observed in the first place, and then this was the Menelaus crater, and this was the Menelaus crater that was taken just few minutes back before the start of our live feed. So you can see, we have already seen in our live picture as well, that the Menelaus crater, it seems more brighter compared to the Menelaus crater right here. So and I've also said that the hint is the composition, the different composition of the crust of these two craters. So can I have the answer here? And I've also said that from 1 foot of the Menelaus crater, the mountain range or the peaks of on the moon of the on the Montes Hemus starts. So these are the peaks we were referring to. So this was the picture that was clicked just few minutes back before the start of the program, that was clicked from the view of the SOAR Center and from the view of our telescope that is housed in the that is situated in the SOAR Observatory of DPS Faridabad. And just next to it, what we have observed is the Apennine mountain peak. So here you can see these are the Apennine mountain peaks, and just near to this you can observe these two big craters we have observed. The first crater, that is, it is called as the Autolycus crater, and just next to it, this big crater, this is called as the Antilles. So these two prominent craters are just next to here, and at the point of my cursor where you can see, this is the Hadley region, Apennine Hadley region, where the Apollo 15 mission was landed. And from the lunar reconnaissance orbiter, it was also confirmed that there is a trail of the rovers and the astronaut in this region that is still there. Means when they were moving, so at that time they left a trail behind, and nothing since then, as you all are aware that we do not have the atmosphere like Earth on the moon, or very thin atmosphere is there, which means no wind we have, no clouds we have, or no water is there, rain to happen, which can remove these trails. So these trails are still there, and the lunar rover of the Apollo 15 mission is still there, left. So right now on your screen you will be getting the live feed for the Jupiter on your screen. So we are trying to get the Jupiter's view. We are trying to get the best view for you also. The exposure time is going to be okay. So my friend behind me is trying to get the Jupiter at the center of your screen. Okay, so we were talking about this region where Apollo 15 has landed, and I was telling you that the rocks collected from this site, they were dated back to 4 billion years, and they are said that these rocks are they have the age of almost the age of the moon, or they can be old as the moon itself. And apart from that, 3 astronauts have landed at this site, and one of them was the geologist, and who, let me tell you an amazing fact here. So the Scott, who was one of the astronaut, he has performed an experiment there at the very site when he was out of the module, when he was walking. So he has performed this experiment that is it possible that, like it was said, that in vacuum or in the airless zone, the two things, if you dropped them together, they will be hitting the ground at the same time. He has conducted this experiment there, and there is a video of him doing this experiment as well. You can check this on web too. So when he dropped the two things, they hit the ground at the same time. So this was one of the few experiments that they have conducted, and they have done several experiments. So this was an amazing mission where for the very first time Apollo sent a lander module along with uh, uh, a rover. So for the very first time, rover was used only in these last three, or the latest of the Apollo programs, 15, 16 and 17. So for the very first time, a rover was moved here at these points, which is still there. So we are trying to get the view, and we are getting the view of the Jupiter for you all on your screen. You are able to see the Jupiter. Okay, we are getting a good view now, and it's an amazing view that we are getting for the Jupiter, and you can see on your screen. And we are trying to find if we can see the red spot. Great red spot is not there as it was in the transit, so the best time for it to observe was the 5:35 p.m. at that time. And since we have started our observation at that time, it was at the periphery already, and we are not getting the view of the great red spot, but you can observe the mighty view of the Jupiter. This is an amazing view that we are getting, and we are able to see the colors. That is why the name of the program is the Colourful Cosmos. Here we observe the cosmos in color. So in the Colourful Cosmos series, we are following a list of objects that, or we will be bringing to you these kind of feeds where you will be getting the views of different marvels of the galaxies and even beyond the galaxies. As we have observed, the Cetus A galaxy is 45 million light years away from us, means it is doubled the distance. Means double the distance of Andromeda from us. So right now we are getting the live view of the Jupiter on your screen. You can see the bands over there. I can clearly see the brown bands over there on your screen. If you can also observe, then kindly comment down in the section. Okay, so now I'm going through the comment section right now, and so we are getting, can we see the Saturn today? Okay, we have shown you the Saturn in the last series of the Colourful Cosmos. You can go through the link again. You can find in the library that the previous episode of the Colourful Cosmos, we have observed the Saturn. You can see it there, and on that very day, it was the occultation of the Saturn with the moon that we have shown you. So where the Apollo 15 was landed, as I told you that it was landed in the Apennine Hadley region, Apennine Hadley region of the hilly region of the Apennine Mountains. Okay, so right now we are getting the Jupiter in a very good brightness, and it is appearing bigger than the normal observation. Can you tell me the reason? Yes, so the Jupiter right now is in opposition, and when the objects are in opposition, we usually see them more brighter, and actually we observe them in a bigger size than their actual size. So right now we are, yes, Jupiter is on your screen right now. Can I have the presenter view? So you are supposed, Yes, we will be bringing you all this kind of more episodes for you all of the colorful cosmos, and we will be observing these kind of objects again and again. We'll be bringing you back, and we'll be coming back with another episode of the colorful cosmos. And right now, just behind me, you can see the faces who are working behind the camera. And starting from you, we have the Javed sir right here. Say hi. Okay, Javed sir is there, who was controlling the camera, and then next to Javed sir is the Dipanshu sir. He was handling the telescope, and just next to the Javed sir, right just behind me, is the Vikrant sir. He was one of our mentors who guides us and also motivate us to do these kind of programs. So this was all about the today's. And just behind the Javed sir, you can also see the Ranjit sir. Ranjit sir is hails from the Chennai, and the Gagan sir is behind me. He is the responsible person who keep on shifting these screens from one screen to another. He is handling the live feed for you all. So this was all about this episode of the Colorful Cosmos, and stay tuned for another episode of the Colorful Cosmos. I hope you liked this session and you observed some wonderful things. I thank you all to come and join us in our feed, and your curiosity is the thing that drives us and motivate us to bring you these kind of episodes to you all. Thank you so much all. Have a great night. Enjoy, keep enjoying the cosmos and keep exploring. Thank you so much. That was our time.